Hello everybody, it's your boy Emilio Son of the Wolf coming to you live with another edition of the Howling Tips. Ooh, it's Throwback Thursday. Oh my gosh, I have absolutely no idea what I should do a throwback of. I have no idea. So, I got a real quick question for you. If I could share with you 5 things that these 5 things, if you do not use them, it will become impossible, absolutely impossible for you to create and maintain success. If that's something that you're like, dude, what the heck is it? Let me know in the comments. If you guys are catching me live or on the replay, go ahead and let me know where you're tuning in from. And what time is it? Like, if you're catching this at night, I want to know. Like, this is dope. Because I would love to figure out when's the best time so that way I can give you guys the best possibility of catching me live. So that way we can interact and we can just have a party with it. Because, honestly, I don't like actually having these videos just me talking. That's boring. So, if you guys are hopping on, go ahead and say what's up. I see tons of people popping on. That's absolutely awesome. Great morning to you, millionaire. Now, we're going to get straight into this. So, what I'm getting ready to share with you are the 5 tips to becoming unstoppable. Now, this stuff is, like, I've used this every single day. I've used it every single day since the day I've had my first child. I've used it every single day when I started my business. I've used it every single day when I went from starting as a sales associate in, I believe, the age of 2016 and going 6 months straight of being a sales associate, becoming an assistant manager. This is the stuff that I've used every single day to come back as a winner and not let anything, regardless of whatever, get in my way. And it's going to be the thing that's going to help you achieve all success in whatever area of your life. However, without these things, you have no shot. Absolutely no shot. You are not going to be able to achieve the success that you want. So, what are these things? Tip number 1. This one is by far the most important. And this is literally the most important tip. If you skip over this tip, because here's the reality is that most people skip this tip. They skip this one. You don't do that. Why? Because your future depends on it. Do not skip this tip number 1. So what is tip number 1? You need to identify your desires and your root reasons for doing what it is that you're getting ready to do, or not even getting ready, that you're going to do. Because if you're going to achieve success, there is no talking about what I'm getting ready to do. You're doing it. Why? Because you're a beast. Why? Because there's nothing that's going to get in the way of your dreams. You are absolutely unstoppable from this day forward. Remember this first tip. Identify your desires. What is the reasons why you're doing what you're doing? Give yourself this magnificent ability to become completely focused on your mission, on the reason why you show up every single day. Because here's the thing. There's a verse where there is no vision, the people perish. Now here's the cool part. Vision is usually the thing that most people lack. So how do you go about creating a vision? You've got to give yourself the ability to ask yourself some seriously powerful questions. Like, you've got to get really down deep to the root reasons of why you're doing what you're doing. And it's actually something that I got from the book called Millionaire Success Habits. He called it by Dean Graziosi. They call it going 7 levels deep, where you ask why 7 times until you get to the real reason of why you're doing what you're doing. So, tip 1, identify your desires. What is it that you want out of your life? What is it that you want for your family? What is it that you want for your community? What is it that you want for yourself? What is it that you want for your legacy? Do you want to just be a person that's forgotten? Do you want to be just somebody who's there and then gone the next? Or do you want to be remembered for something astronomically, like globally impactful? Identify your desires and the real root reasons of why you want them. Now, tip 2. This is probably the gangbuster that will keep you in the game longer than anybody else. Why? Because, like I said, I'm sharing with you the 5 tips to becoming unstoppable. With these stuff, like with this stuff, it becomes potentially impossible for you to be knocked off your game. However, there are 6 things that keep you from success, which I don't have a lot of time to go. Like, you stick with me to the end, and you'll figure out how you guys can get your hands on the 6 things that keep you from success. So, tip 2 is find your motivational triggers. Find the things that get you so far jacked that you're willing to run through a brick wall. So this is actually something that I've heard from my awesome mentor and coach, and I want to ask you a serious, like really serious question. I'm gonna ask it in 3 different ways. So for the parents out there, if your child was in a burning building, would you sit there and ask yourself 20 questions of, I don't know how I'm gonna get in there, but what if I go inside and there's smoke and I choke myself out? Are you gonna sit there and ask yourselves those questions? This is like, by show of the comments, let me know in the comments. Like, if your child was in a burning building, would you ask yourself 20 questions before you actually went in that building to get your child? I'm being serious right now. I'm not even going to answer it. Like, I'm going to let you comment. Find your motivational triggers and use them like a daily supplement. This should not, and I repeat, should not be something you miss. Ever. 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 And use this as an important thing. Find the thing that motivates the heck out of you. Whether if it's music, whether if it's the piano, whether if it's, those are just some of the things that motivate me, but I'm giving you guys an example. Maybe it's actually sitting on a range and firing off airsoft rifles. I don't know. Maybe it's spending time with your family. Maybe it's spending time with your friends. Whatever it is, find your motivational triggers and use them like a daily supplement. And when things get rough, because this is the truth, and it cannot, life is not all peaches and cream. There's going to be rough patches that you're going to hit, and you're going to need these motivational triggers to pull yourself out of that dark thing that is just so massive, it becomes almost impossible to see the light in the situation. But when you have these motivational triggers, you have these things, and you use them like your daily supplement, it becomes almost impossible. What's going to end up happening is that once those bad moments happen, you're going to already, bam, automatic response, emergency inhaler. You start looking for your motivational triggers. No, I'm not going to let this spiral take me down. No, I'm not going to let this thing knock me down. Why? Because you are a champion. You are a beast. And you will not be defeated. This is yours. This is your life. And I'll be damned if some dark situation is going to take you out. So, tip 3. Without this, no shot. Absolutely no shot. Because there's something that goes around all over the place. It's like, when you fail to plan, you've already planned to fail. So what is tip 3? You've got to give yourself the ability to create a plan of action that eliminates distractions and execute on the plan immediately. Immediately. Do not wait on it. Execute on the plan. Because the longer you wait on it, the higher the chance that you won't do anything with it. How do I know this? I've written down tons of plans. I've written down countless plans. And the only plans that actually stuck, and the only plans that ever had the best shot of creating any kind of result, was the ones that I wrote down with blue ink, and the ones that I took action on right after I wrote them down. Give yourself the best shot. Like I said, these are the 5 tips to becoming unstoppable. Now, tip 4. This one is probably going to be the most difficult for some of you. And I want to let you guys know, I'm not a saint at this. Like, I'm not. I am not perfect at this. However, I strive for a place of impeccability. I strive for excellence, not perfection. So, tip 4. Maintain a positive attitude. Regardless of what the outside circumstances show you or justify. Because you can always justify a reason to be negative. However, the best shot at creating any kind of success is maintaining a positive attitude regardless of what's going on around you. Like I said, these are the 5 tips to becoming unstoppable. So, what's the last thing? What's the last thing? If you do not have this thing, you will not be able to achieve success. Tip number 5 is crucial. If you do not do tip number 5, if you don't do tip number 5, you're gonna keep spinning your wheels, and you're gonna end up wondering, like, why is this stuff isn't working? Why is this stuff not working? What's going on? Here's the thing. And this is the thing that I swear by every single day, and it's been the thing that's held me in the game so long. Tracking your progress. Now, what do I track? Like, what do I track? I don't track how many people watch my videos. I look at it, but I'm not addicted to it. I really don't care. What do I track? I track how many people were impacted by my videos. I don't track how many people commented. I don't track how many people loved it, even though I'm happy to be doing these videos every single day. What I'm really tracking is how many lives did I change with this video. How many people, if it wasn't for me, would have ended themselves. Would have, like, if this was the last day, if this was the day that they decided that they was going to pull out that gun out of that nightstand and put it to their head, and it was this video right here that saved their life, that's what I track. That's what I track. Because I remember those days. I remember those days when I was completely miserable and I thought about it. I thought about suicide 3 times. I thought about suicide 3 times. I thought about it. It came to mind and I was like, no. And it wasn't until I got a hold of some information that drastically changed my life. And that's why I'm sharing this stuff with you today. So I see tons of people popping on. It's absolutely awesome. Great morning to you, millionaires. So, like I said, these are the tips, the 5 tips to becoming unstoppable. And without this stuff, you just won't be able to achieve success. So, we're going to recap. And then, like, I'm going to share with you, because there's 6 things that keep you from achieving success, even though you have these tips. So, recap. Tip number 1, identify your desires. You need to know what it is that you want. You need to know. You can't just say, but this is something that I'm going to have. No, you need to know what you want and identify the real root reasons of why you want it. Tip 2, find your motivational triggers. Some of my motivational triggers are my family. Some of my motivational triggers are my wife, my kids. Some of my motivational triggers are my music. Some of my motivational triggers are the people who are impacted by my videos. Like, I remember this specifically. I forget when it happened, but one of these days, I got a message from somebody. I got a message from somebody that literally said, because of you, I actually gained enough courage to join the army and change my life. And I was so moved. So moved. Find your motivational triggers. Find the things that gets you so jacked and has you willing to run through a brick wall. If your child was in a burning building, would you sit there questioning how you're going to do it? No. You're just getting through that building. I don't care. I'm getting my child out. I'm impacting people. I don't care how I gotta do it. I don't care what it takes. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. I'm gonna make it happen. Find your motivational triggers and use them like a daily supplement. Any emergency inhaler. Tip 3. Create a plan of action that eliminates distractions, completely obliterates them. Because those distractions are going to keep you from getting where you are looking to go. You're on a mission. These are the 5 tips to becoming unstoppable. Create a plan of action that eliminates distractions, completely obliterates them, gets them out of your way, because they are the enemy. You know where you're going. Execute on your plan of action that eliminates distraction immediately. Because a plan that isn't executed on has the least probability of actually being created. What was the probability of all plans that I've ever set in motion? This one that you've seen, the 55 pounds lost in 4 months, that was made by a plan that I created and immediately took action on. I didn't tell anybody about it. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. I just created the plan and I did it. I stayed quiet and I just kept going. Now, tip 4, maintain a positive attitude. Regardless, I see my buddy John Dosset hop on Great Morning TV Millionaire. Maintain a positive attitude at all times. This is the recap. This is the recap. This isn't always the easiest thing. It's not. And I'm not perfect at it. I am not perfect at it. But you've got to give yourself the ability to strive to maintain a positive attitude regardless of what's going on around you. Because nothing good can be created from a negative mindset. Only positivity can create a great mindset. Now, tip 5, track your progress or your momentum will die. Now, how do I know this? The one thing that helped me going, that kept me going, regardless of what was thrown at me, regardless of how my views look, because I've had moments where I've had thousands of people watching my live videos. I've had moments where I've had only 2 views, and I don't track that stuff. Because honestly, I don't care. I do not care how many people watch these videos. What I actually care about is how many people were actually impacted by these videos. How many people were actually had the possibility of their lives being changed from these videos. That's the stuff I track. That's the stuff I care about. I don't care about how many people watch the video unless I know that the people that watched that video actually had their life changed. Track your progress or your momentum will die. Now, you're probably like, dude, you friggin' went in. Yeah, this is how freakishly passionate I am about this stuff because this is how I live my life. So you probably be listening this far and you're like, dude, this sounds all real well and good. This sounds amazing. But what's the catch? What's the real, give me the skinny, man. Tell me the truth. Give me the straight up truth. The truth is, these 5 tips, they won't work if you do not know these 6 other stuff. There's 6 things that keep you from success. And without knowing these 6 other things, these 5 tips that I just shared with you will not work. Will not work. How do I know? Because I've run into them plenty of times. I've run into them plenty of times. And I have to constantly remind myself over and over and over. I have to come back to these 5 tips. I have to always come back to these 5 tips. And I'm okay with coming back to these 5 tips. But there's 6 things that will keep you from making these unstoppable changes. Becoming unstoppable. There's 6 things. If you guys want those 6 things, and you're like, dude, hurry up and just send me a private message. And I will send you those 6 things. My name is Emilio Soto the Wolf. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Go out there, crush your goals, because I know you will. Be unstoppable. Remember, you are a beast. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. It's your boy, Emilio Soto the Wolf. Great morning, millionaires.